So you've just started your first funded challenge, which sounds extremely exciting, right? But the reality is that most of the people blow their accounts before even getting funded. With this framework, I'm going to show you how to go from 0 to 10K per month and the exact framework that I used to pass these challenges and get funded. So step one is strategy, which is extremely important because this forms the basis of your whole funding journey. So with strategy, what I mean is that you have to have a mechanical plan that you can execute on a consistent basis. You can add some discretionary in this part, but consistently is the highlighted keyword over here. And with a mechanical plan, most people can execute it a little bit more consistently than with a subjective plan. Now, if you have a strategy that is well tested with rules that you can repeat, what do I mean by that is 100 to 200 back-tested trade. So the moment that you back-test your plan, you know the strengths, the weaknesses, and you also know if this plan is suitable to repeat on a consistent basis for you. And the key metrics that are important over here are trade frequency, which means how many trades do you open in the market. For example, let's say we open 10 trades per month. Our win rate, for example, is 60%, and our risk to reward is a 1 to 2. So that means that for every trade that I place, every winner gains 2% if I would allocate 1% risk per trade, and every loser would be minus 1%. And obviously this is without any break-even mechanism. This is just plain a winner or a loser and letting the trade play out. So the moment you have a profitable system that you have back-tested, you have forward-tested this, so you implemented this in live market conditions, and you have found something that matches your personality, it matches your routine, so you can actually execute the plan, then we can fast forward to step number 2. And over here we can start with a challenge. Better said, we can start with multiple challenges, because what most people do over here is that they buy 1 or 2 accounts. Most of the time they buy 1 account, and that means that, let's say we have a investment of $2,000 that we want to implement into the markets. We are gonna buy multiple challenges of this instead of 1. If you would buy only 1 challenge, what happens is that you are very focused on passing this account, but at the end of the day, we don't know when the edge is gonna play out. The moment you have a well-tested system, you can repeat this, and we expect consistency and profits, but we don't know if this is going to take 1 month, 3 months, maybe 6 months. It really depends on the market conditions at that time. So that means that it is kind of unpredictable on what we are going to gain by the end of the month from this system. And therefore we want to spread out multiple challenges and really see it as a business. Maybe one month can be a negative month or a break-even month, but there are going to be months that are extremely profitable. And by spreading out multiple challenges, all challenges are exposed to different market conditions and different trades. So let's say over here, instead of buying 1 account, we are buying 4 100K accounts. And each month we are gonna activate 100K. Let's say that we have a passing rate of 50%. So in this example, we breach 2 accounts and we pass 2 accounts. That means that currently I am 200K funded. And in this stage, it is very important to give yourself a realistic time horizon to actually pass the challenges. You don't need to pass all challenges in 1 month. You don't need to pass a challenge in 1 month. Give it some time. Depending on your statistics, you should exactly see how long on average is it going to take to pass one of these accounts. Now, the moment you are 200K funded, that means that we have currently invested $2,000, but we also breached 2 accounts, right? So it cost us $2,000 in this case to get 200K funded. The moment you are funded, we are going to step number 3, which is the funding stage, and especially like the maintaining of the funded accounts. So what you want to do from a safe perspective is to not be exposed by the market on your full capital. And that means we're going to create groups. So let's say group A, group B. The moment you are going to trade your full capital exposed to the markets, this obviously carries some risks, because if there's an event that you don't know that will come, or something will happen, or a stop loss is not placed correctly, whatever will happen, even though it is the slightest chance of happening, your full capital over here is exposed. So in this case, what I did is split them into 2. And that means we have 100K over here and 100K over here. And on both accounts, I have a profit target of 3%, because this is easy for me, in this case, to get by the end of the month. Let's say on account 1, we have a 3% target and we have hit that target. That means that somewhere in the month we will go over to account B, and the last 2 weeks of the month are a little bit difficult to trade, and we end the month on minus 1%. Currently, I can only request a payout for account number A. That means over here I will get a 3K payout minus the profit split, which is going to leave me with 2.4 4K, which is very nice because this is the first payout. We have already set a realistic target of 3%, which is achievable. If you would go for a target of 10% on your first funded account, you are at risk of giving back some profits into the markets. For example, you're up 6-7% and you end the month on -1 or maybe even negative. So by just setting a realistic target, you make your first payout tangible. You are rewarded for the hard work you have put in so far. With this amount, obviously this depends on your own situation, but with this amount you can reinvest a part and you can also put a part on your own bank account. With this payout, there's also the $500 included that we have paid for the challenge fee, which we now get back. If I'm going to repeat this process, we invest another $2,000 into the markets, and again we buy 4 accounts. This is step 4. Step 4 is scaling. We have to scale up, right? Because we don't want to be tied to the markets and tied to only these 2 accounts. At this point, we want to have as much accounts as possible because we have a tested system, we have the consistency in there as well. And the more accounts you have, the better you can handle your emotions. If one of the accounts is in drawdown, you have multiple accounts that are in profit, which is easier because again, you spread it. You don't only spread the risk on these accounts, you also spread the profits, the emotions. So that makes it a lot easier to actually manage everything and get consistent payouts coming in. So again, if we have $2,000, we're gonna buy 4 accounts again, and we repeat this. Let's say again, we blow 2, we pass 2. In great market conditions, you might pass them all. In very bad market conditions, you should not blow them all. Because again, we are spreading the accounts out. So 1 or 2 bad periods are allowed, depending on your system, of course. But if you blow all challenges in different market environments, in different periods, maybe you should have a look at your system to see if you can optimize something there. It can be that things are completely within your parameters of your trading plan. Again, this depends on the individual itself, but in this case, with these metrics, we should not blow 4 accounts. Let's say we pass 2 accounts again. So that means we have our group A and group B. And instead of 100, 100, now we are 200K funded over here and 200K funded over there. Again, our profit targets can still remain 3%. So let's say we honestly repeat the same trick. 3% is our target. And over here, let's say we have a slightly better month, but we managed to only get 1% instead of 3. That means currently we have a 4% payout divided on 2 different groups. So again, your capital is not fully exposed. On 400K, here you can receive a 16K payout. Minus the 20% leaves you with a 12.8K payout, right? And you can repeat this trick over and over again. It is down the road normal to lose an account now and then, but by keeping this flow constantly running, new accounts will be purchased. Every account will have a different market condition and so on. You can constantly generate nice payouts from the markets and from these accounts. Let's say on one of the accounts you are in heavy drawdown. Obviously you can decrease your risk to not blow the account. You can do this from -5, -6, -7%, whatever your system is. This is very broad. This really depends on the system that you want to implement or like deploy in the markets. But in the end of the day, this is like a very profitable framework on getting new accounts, spreading the accounts over different time frames. And if you breach one of the accounts and pass the others, you can generate payouts from the existing accounts that you have got. And you can copy paste this framework onto your own trading, onto different prop firms. So if you're confident about your strategy, you can apply this framework and start scaling with a firm that actually wants to see you win. Click the link in the description and start today.